Hey everyone, welcome to week 7. This week's discussion focused on grants and grant writing, so for this presentation I chose to lay out my ideas for a grant I would apply to from the Institute of Museum and Library Services, or IMLS. This discussion obviously makes us play out a bit more of a hypothetical situation, but I wanted to create a grant proposal idea that reflects what I want to do on more of a long-term basis. Museums have always been something that I've been passionate about, and I think that museum curation is the career path I want to go down in the long run after I finish this program here at Liberty. I would eventually like to create my own museum that focuses on early 17th century Native American history from southern New England, but also shows how these historical events in the past connect to the present day. So for this presentation, I will be creating a plan where a grant would be applied for in order to benefit this hypothetical museum. We can call it the Museum of Wampanoag History for now. I basically want to go through the IMLS guidelines for grant proposals and see the ways in which they connect to my hypothetical institution. This grant would mainly be used for the expansion of the current facilities of this supposed museum as well. The first big IMLS requirement that must be met by any organization applying for a museum grant is that they must either be a state or local government entity or a nonprofit organization. I would definitely prefer that my museum be a nonprofit organization, so this wouldn't be a problem. Next, the museum must be located in one of the 50 U.S. states or U.S. controlled provinces, which we would be. I would greatly prefer that the museum be in southeast Massachusetts near Plymouth. Lastly, museums must qualify by being an organization that uses a professional staff and is organized on a permanent basis for essentially educational or aesthetic purposes. The museum must also own or use tangible objects, either animate or inanimate, care for these objects, and exhibit these objects to the general public on a regular basis through facilities that it owns or operates. My museum would most definitely have a professional staff and approach history in a unique way using both real and fake objects or artifacts. Educating the general public would be the main goal of the museum, so this would be heavily emphasized in any grant proposal. Overall, I believe a case could be presented in order to obtain a grant for a museum I want to start in the future. The grants that the IMLS award can be awarded to a wide array of different types of museums and organizations, including aquariums, art museums, botanical gardens, children's or youth museums, general museums, historic houses or sites, nature, history, or anthropology museums, nature centers, planetariums, science or technology centers, specialized museums, and zoological parks. So really, I think my proposal would fit right in with the theme of the IMLS Museum Grant. Thanks again for checking out my discussion or my presentation this week, and I look forward to looking more into everyone else's.